Well, the reason behind the book was George Schroer. George graduated a class of 2005. He had been a sharp community scholar. He established a service organization. He did aid and relief work in African countries. And upon returning from these experiences, he became really interested in starting to work to try to solve some of these problems, or at least attempt to try to solve some problems. My topic of interest really boiled down to what makes this young man tick. Why is he so motivated, maybe beyond some of his peers or colleagues who have seen similar types of injustice or poverty? The unique characteristic that I discovered was that these students had already connected through direct service with an emotional or a psychological connection to members of community. A telling example of that is a story from one of our participants that explained that he was doing this, he was standing in a soup kitchen line because he was told he had to do a certain number of hours as a high school requirement, and it meant very little to him until he looked up and he was serving food to one of his friends from his high school. And he started to reflect on, for the first time, his place in society. And he started to think about things of relative privilege, power affiliated with privilege, opportunity affiliated with privilege, and social class. And for the first time, he connected something that he might be thinking about outside of his service experience with something in his service experience. I have heard many times my community member friends from across the globe say in some way or another, "I didn't know I needed your help until you told me I needed it. I didn't know I was poor until you came here and told me I was poor." Volunteerism implies just that a group of people have determined on their own that a certain group needs help. Service learning implies a sense of mutuality, of mutual benefit, that students or faculty that are involved in service are helping to meet community need, while community members and community are gaining. There's a great need for people to have the experience of building a home, of connecting for the first time. Many of our students come to college already having had that experience, but not all of them. So in order for us to walk students along a developmental scheme of engagement, there has to be that first there has to be the chance to have direct service involvement where there is some sort of connection with others so that people start to reflect on their place in society. So we have all sorts of events to support student involvement. We have 300 tutors in College Partnership for Kids, 70 mentors in Project Phoenix. We have 35 away from campus service trips as close as the Eastern Shore of Petersburg and as far away as Tanzania. What we don't do, and what we're very proud of, is that we don't have service learning as an add-on. We don't have it as something that if you complete a certain number of hours, you automatically get credit for it. Because in fact, research shows that sometimes that can do more harm than good. Students can become oftentimes simply voyeuristic in their approach. They can become looking in at community if you don't embed the project and the community involvement in the course. We do not give credit for student volunteerism. We talk oftentimes about the emotionality of service. You can intellectualize it really well. You can apply theories to service. And that's important. But sometimes students just need time to reflect deeply, to express exhaustion, to express frustration, to cry, to be listened to express concern for others, to remind us all that the world isn't perfect and that in a lot of places the world is broken. We want our graduates to be equipped with the tools to genuinely make a difference in the lives of others in their communities after graduation for a lifetime. The founding goals of higher education included a public purpose to higher ed, that we would be developing the future civic public leaders of our Commonwealth and of our nation. So as far as we've come, it's kind of fun to think back to where we started. We do it a little differently now, and I hope we would say we would do it a little bit more effectively. But part of what we do is embedded in our roots.